Well, hey, you guys, welcome to the Connection Point Worldview podcast. My name is Ron, your host. I'm here as always with Pastor Trey Shigley and Dr. Zach Breitenbach. They make up our Worldview department at Connection Point Christian Church in central Indiana. And this is a podcast that's helping just kind of bolster your faith and process areas of the Bible or tough questions of apologetics that might help you, your students, family, or friends. This is a Burning Questions edition, which means we've been submitted some questions that we're trying to work our way through and give just a few minutes of thoughtful biblical answers to help you in your faith or maybe answer a question that a friend has in your life. So, Dr. Zach, what's the question you've got for us today?
All right, this one is alien hour here. If aliens exist, does the gospel or the Christian pathway apply to them as well?
Wow.
Or are their rules going to be different? Wow. So we got an alien question. I do think this is interesting, even though ultimately the Bible just doesn't tell us anything about aliens. The Bible doesn't say that there are aliens, intelligent life elsewhere in the universe. It also doesn't say that there are not aliens in the universe. We do know that there are intelligent, non-human beings, angels and demons, that are not only in the universe, but that are active in our world, right? So we know that God has created other intelligent beings who are capable of sinning and rebelling against Him, or are capable of submitting to Him and following Him. So it wouldn't be shocking to me if there were life elsewhere in the universe. It wouldn't be shocking to me if there's not. I mean, we know that God's already created angels and demons in addition to humans, right? So if aliens were to land on our planet tomorrow, I wouldn't suddenly think, well, there goes Christianity, right? It can't be true. There's aliens. Because the Bible just doesn't speak about aliens. The Bible is directed to humans. It's not about that. The Bible doesn't give us the answer to every single question in the universe, like, are there aliens? Because it's not about that. It's about humanity. It's about God's relationship with us. It's about our sin and separation from God and our reconciliation with God, and it's telling us that story. But the question would be, if there are aliens, right, well, did they sin? And do they need a Savior as well? And that's kind of where the question is going. And I think if there's aliens and they've sinned, they would need a Savior. And so what God does about their sin, we can only speculate about, right? I mean, did Jesus get incarnated into that world and suffer and die for them, or maybe one of the other persons of the Trinity?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know.
I don't know. I mean, that would be the interesting question. If the alien showed up, I'd ask them, like, hey, so what do you know about, like, God and Jesus? But
I feel bad because I don't want to mock the question. I'm just picturing Jesus dying for Predator, or the alien that rips out of somebody's stomach, and Jesus going, "I died for you too, buddy." Yeah.
Those aliens are always really bad, aren't they?
Yeah,
they really do need a savior if they're anything like the movies.
Well, that is interesting. I do. What I find interesting just about the concept in general is that the Bible does speak to, for lack of a better term, otherworldly and still sentient beings out there, but it's more spiritual in nature. So the Bible does speak to things that we don't necessarily see or touch. And so if I lumped aliens into that category of these otherworldly beings that are sentient that we can't see because they haven't been around, God told us about these ones. Why wouldn't He tell us about a different variety, that are in this kind of extraterrestrial nature? So I feel like He would tell us, but that the Bible is not clear on any of it. And
though with the angels and demons, they do interact with us.
Yeah, that's true.
They have roles in our lives. They have
true.
roles in the Bible story. But if there was an alien life form on the distant recesses of the universe that we'll never come in contact with, God wouldn't necessarily have a reason to tell us about them because they have nothing to do with our salvation, of our story of creation and fall and redemption through Christ and our destiny. God would have a totally different story that's playing out with them, and he would just not see fit to tell us in that case.
Right.
But I don't know. That's a valid point. There's not mentioned to us. Maybe he would tell us. I don't know.
We leave it to you, William Shatner. All right, another good question, and we've got some spaceships to go travel on to find out the answer to that one. Thanks, guys. Well, if you've got questions for us, head to connectionpoint.org/worldview. Click on the questions tab, and then you can submit your questions right there. If you have other needs, connectionpoint.org is a good starting place to get more information about the church. And in the meantime, a couple of things. Would you mind sharing about this podcast with a friend? Maybe give us a review too, as that helps people find us. And please know, in the meantime, we'll be praying for you and your family. God bless.